Hi everyone. As part of this problem, we have the input table as empdet. This table has below columns empid, which is the employee ID, emp name, that is the name of the employee, emp department, that is the department to which the employee belongs to, emp salary, that is the salary of the employee, and emp manager ID, that is the who is the manager for that particular employee. So let's take example of Jyoti. So for this employee Jyoti, her manager is with employee ID 40. So we need to check who is employee ID with 40, and that is Vijay. So Vijay is manager of Jyoti. So as part of this output, we need to find out who all are the manager and senior manager of a particular employee. So like in this case, we have identified that manager of Jyoti is an employee with employee ID 40, that is Vijay. So for Jyoti, we need to report that her manager is Vijay. Similarly, now we need to identify who is the senior manager of Jyoti. So senior manager will be manager's manager. So manager of Jyoti is Vijay, and Vijay's manager is employee ID 10. So employee ID 10 is Aarti, which means that senior manager of Jyoti is Aarti, that is her manager's manager. So that is what we have here. For every employee, we need to report who is their manager and who is their senior manager, that is manager's manager. So let's go ahead and solve the problem. So to solve this problem, we are going to use self-join. So to understand this, what we are going to do is we are going to take the instance of this employee table that we have. We are going to have three tables of it. We are going to create, you can say, three copies. One, we can call it as employee. Other one, we will call it as manager. And third table, we will call it as senior manager. So note that it is the same table, just that we will be referring it in different context. Okay. So now what we will do is, for the first table, which we are calling it as employee, we are going to join it with the second table, which we are calling with manager. So from this table, if I have to identify who is the manager of Jyoti, I need to pick up the manager ID of Jyoti and check it in the employee ID of the manager table. So I can find out that Vijay is manager of Jyoti. So from the first table, we will join based on the manager ID here and employee ID here, so that both will interconnect, both will link together, and we get the required output. So this way, by joining these two tables, we will identify the manager. That is the first step. Second step is to identify the senior manager. So to identify the senior manager, we are going to take the manager ID of our manager table, and we are going to join it with the employee ID of the senior manager. So this way, we will able to link this table with the senior manager table to identify that Aarti is the senior manager of Jyoti, who is manager of Vijay and senior manager of Jyoti. So this way we are going to solve this problem. We are going to use two join condition. First, linking the employee table with the manager table to identify the manager name. Second, linking the manager table with the senior manager table to identify the senior manager. So let's go ahead and solve this problem using this approach. So what we will do is we will operate on this input table, that is employee details. So let's call the instance as E, which is the employee table that we will be referring to. We are going to join it with the same table, that is we are going to perform the self join, and this table we will call the alias as M, indicating this is the manager table. As we said, we are going to use the employee manager ID from the employee table and join it with the employee ID of the manager table. Like we saw here, the employee manager ID from the employee table, we are going to link it with the employee ID from the manager table. So after we link these two together, we will find the manager name. So what we will do is we will take all the entries from the employee table and only take the manager ID, that is the emp ID from the manager table, let's call it as manager ID, and emp name from the manager table, let's call it as manager name. So let's run and see the output. So as we see, let's focus on the employee Jyoti. So as we see for Jyoti, we have identified that 40, when it is matches with the manager table 40, we are getting the manager name as Vijay. Similarly, for the other employees, wherever the match is found, we are able to fetch the corresponding manager ID and the manager name. So this way we have solved the first part of the problem of identifying the manager name. Now solving the second part of identifying the senior manager. So for that we need to link the employee manager ID from the manager table with the employee ID of the senior manager table. So for that, again, we will perform the left join and we will mention the employee DET table. This time we will give the alias as SM, indicating this is the senior manager table. And as part of the join condition, we will mention that we want to join based on the manager ID column of the manager table with the employee ID of the senior manager table. So with this, we will get the manager. So we will get the manager ID. This is the senior manager ID. So let's call it as SM ID. And similarly, we will get the name as well. Emp name. So this is the SM name or the senior manager name. So let's run and see the output. So as we can see, after identifying the manager, we have joined based on the manager ID of the manager with the employee ID of the senior manager, and we have got the senior manager name. Okay. So for this employee, we have identified who is the manager and who is the senior manager. So this way we have solved the problem. As a last step, we can keep only those columns which are relevant, like the employee name from the employee table. From the manager table, we just need the manager name. So we will keep the manager name. And similarly, from the senior manager, we will just keep the senior manager name. So let's run and see the output. So we have got the required output in the required format. So this way we have solved the problem. If required, we can mention the senior manager name here as the column name so that we get the final output. So this way we have solved the problem. So let's walk through of the solution, how we have reached to the solution. So let's go through the approach taken. So basically what we have done is we have started with the employee detail table. We have left joined it with the same table, that is employee detail, and we are using the self join by calling the first table as employee and second table as manager. We have used the alias as E and M. Then we have joined using the condition manager ID of the employee table joining with the employee ID of the manager table. By joining on this, we have obtained the manager name from the manager table. If the join is successful, we will get the manager name. If it is not successful, we will get null here. After that, we have to identify the senior manager. We have done the join again with the same table. This time we have given the alias as SM indicating senior manager, and our joining condition is manager ID of the manager table and employee ID of the senior manager table. So with that, we will fetch the employee name from the senior manager table. So this way we have identified who are the managers and senior manager of particular employee. So this way we have solved the problem. So please go through the video. If you found it useful, please like it.
Like,
if you have
comment,
not yet
and
subscribed the channel,
subscribe.
please subscribe and please provide your feedback in the comments. Thank you.